The story begins with a boy named Bobby. He's running through the middle of a forest, trying to escape from someone. He looks terrified and is constantly looking over his shoulder. The scene then flashes back to the past, revealing who's after him. We see Bobby and his wife, Tracy, living in a small apartment. Tracy is heartbroken. She still hasn't been able to conceive a child. All she's ever dreamed of was having a house in a peaceful place where she could start a family. But neither dream was coming true. Their apartment was in the middle of a noisy, chaotic city, and even after years of marriage, they still had no child. One evening, one of Tracy's friends visits. She tells Tracy about a wonderful gated community located in a peaceful area. She raves about how kind and supportive the people are. Tracy asks, "If it's so perfect, why didn't you move there?" Her friend replies, "They didn't offer us a house, probably because we told them we weren't planning on having a second child." Tracy finds this strange. Her friend was praising the place so much, but her husband didn't seem impressed. Her friend's husband adds, "Go check it out if you want, but even if someone paid me, I wouldn't live there." Still, Tracy couldn't stop thinking about that peaceful life. So the next day, she and Bobby went to visit the community. As they approached the gate, they noticed something odd. There was no guard. The gate just opened automatically. At the entrance, they were greeted by the community president, who gave them a tour. As they explored, Tracy and Bobby noticed something strange. All the families had 2 children, and all the kids looked about the same age. It seemed like Tracy's friend was right. You had to plan for 2 kids to live there. Tracy didn't mind. She loved children. The president explained that the community was created to restore traditional family values. There was no crime, and everyone looked after each other like family. It all seemed perfect. Then the president showed them a huge, beautiful house. Bobby wondered, why would someone leave such a great place? The president explained they had to relocate for business reasons. Bobby wasn't convinced. The house was still fully furnished. Tracy was thrilled. It was exactly the kind of home she dreamed of, but the price was far beyond their budget. We help couples who want to start a family. If you fill out a form and your number is picked, you'll get a massive discount. Tracy eagerly filled out the form, and just 2 days later, they were selected. Bobby still felt uneasy. Everything was happening too smoothly, but seeing Tracy so happy, he gave in and signed the contract, without reading it. Exactly a month later, they moved in. The entire community stopped everything to welcome them. Tracy began talking about starting a family immediately, and Bobby agreed. The next day, a couple of neighbors insisted on visiting their home. Bobby tried to avoid them, but they forced their way in. Meanwhile, Tracy went to the community market and felt like people were watching her. She brushed it off as her imagination. Soon after, the community held a Christmas party. Everyone was there. During the celebration, a woman named Sandra slapped her husband so hard that he fell. He had a prosthetic leg and couldn't get up on his own. No one helped, until Bobby stepped in. Only then did others join in and carry him away. Later, Bobby ran into Sandra while jogging. When he asked about her husband, she started to cry but lied, saying her brother had passed and her husband had gone to be with family. Bobby sensed she was hiding something. That night, unable to sleep, Bobby turned on the TV. Flipping through channels, he landed on a bizarre one. It showed live footage of his neighbor's home. He saw her getting close to another man, then her husband walked in. Shocked, Bobby changed the channel. The next morning, while checking voicemails, Bobby found messages asking Tracy about her pregnancy. Furious, he confronted her, asking why she was sharing such personal details. "Tracy, they're my friends. We were just chatting." Bobby was stunned. Tracy already considered these people her family. Soon after, Bobby was invited to a community meeting. Sandra and her husband were there. The community planned to discuss their issues. "Bobby, this is their private matter. Community leader, we're all family. We solve things together. The punishment? Sandra would wear a pig mask and be publicly beaten the next day." Bobby was horrified. This wasn't about values, this was humiliation. Even the police didn't intervene, they just watched silently. Later, Sandra told Bobby, "Sandra, please stay away." He tried to help, but everyone now viewed him suspiciously. Some time passed. Bobby returned home to find the community president there, with a fertility expert. "Community president, it's been 5 months. If you don't conceive within 6 months, you'll lose your house. And your money. It's all in the contract." Bobby panicked. He finally read the contract and realized the terrifying truth. It contained bizarre rules with cruel consequences. Tracy, however, didn't care. She still wanted to stay. Bobby contacted a lawyer friend who read the contract and was shocked. The lawyer friend said, "You gave up all your rights, and legally, it's binding." Bobby asked him to investigate the previous homeowners. Meanwhile, Tracy continued falling deeper into the community's trap. The lawyer later called with disturbing news. "It's like they vanished. There's no trace of them." Bobby confronted a neighbor about it. She got scared and refused to say anything. That's when Bobby realized, if you resist, you disappear. He began pretending to play along. Eventually, Valentine's Day arrived. Tracy shared news. She was pregnant. Bobby was overjoyed, until people started congratulating him before she even told him. That's when he realized everyone was watching. Cameras were everywhere. Every house had 24/7 surveillance broadcasted to local TV. One day, as they returned from an ultrasound, Sandra ran up, asking for help. Before Bobby could respond, a car ran her over. The sheriff witnessed it but said she was drunk. She ran into traffic. Everyone saw she asked for help. No one spoke up. That night, Bobby turned on the TV again. He saw ambulance footage, then his neighbor's live feed, then his own. There was no privacy. That's how everyone knew Tracy was pregnant. Terrified, they ran to a neighbor's house for help. The neighbor's voice echoed in their minds. "We have a daughter. Please leave." That's when Bobby realized Sandra's husband's brother hadn't died naturally. He'd been killed as punishment for Sandra's defiance. Now even Tracy understood. They had to escape. That night, they faked a medical emergency. Bobby took Tracy to a hospital. In the morning, he returned with her friend, planning to help her escape next. But the community president found out. There were cameras everywhere. The president came to confront Bobby. But then, in a surprising twist, her own husband stabbed her with scissors to help Bobby escape. The husband's voice was firm. "Run. At least you deserve a better life." This brings us back to the opening scene. Bobby, running through the forest, being chased by the community. Just as he's about to escape, a car pulls up. It's his friend, and Tracy. But it's a trap. His friend had lured him into this life from the beginning. Bobby is dragged back. The story jumps forward 5 years. Tracy is now smiling. Her son is older and she's planning a second child as required. She's become the new community president, now luring other couples in, just like the previous one. Bobby watches silently. His legs are gone, cut off as punishment for trying to escape. He's trapped, broken, and helpless, and that's how the story ends.